I'm the flatratemaster, and we're live again. Obviously, I took Thanksgiving off, as everybody should have. How is everybody doing tonight? We'll see if this stream doesn't wind up being weird, because YouTube was telling me my settings were wrong, and I haven't changed them, so... Anyway, Carl, hi from Georgia. Nomad, Torx bit set, and nylon sockets. Okay, cool. You know, it's kind of the stuff that everybody. I assume you mean Torx bits, but you know, I've been looking at the Vim stuff that they came out with. Mueller cups really didn't have much. You know. Really interested in getting this set. Still trying to get them to sponsor me, but so far that hasn't happened. Along with, what was it? Oh. Something else Vim had that I was looking at. Forgot to it had to be on page one. And anyway. So how useful you think this is? I saw that and I was like, you know, I think that's more of a, you know, gag kind of product than an actual useful product, because I can see my finger getting stuck in that ring. Rude Mopar dude, what's going on from North Carolina? Let's go back to Maine. Brandon, Astro nano sockets. Astro nano sockets are good. I do still have one that's broke. One of these days I'll actually get it warranted. Yeah, you know, just a warning, because the current bit rate is 8455 kilobits per second. Then we recommend 23500, and I'm at 23548. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but my internet's good. So if it cuts out, I'm sorry. But I don't know why it's giving me a warning when literally I'm streaming way above what I did last time. So anyway. Hey Murray, what's going on? So come on, guys. What tools you looking to get for Christmas? Either whether your family buys them or you're buying them for yourself. I mean, Christmas around here is going to be a little weird. Well, I won't be here for Christmas, but you know. Sergio, what's going on? How you doing? What is going on with that? Anyway, but yeah, no, I looking at those Vim tools. Brandon Ramirez. Oh, in that case, Sergio's looking to get the Insider ratchet. It is really cool. You know, today was Snap-on Thursday. Always dangerous. You know, it's you know, Murray, Murray, did you get anything off the Snap-on truck, or you just go on the truck and look around? Justin, I won't lie. I want the big Ingersoll Rand battery tire gun with the torque presets. It's $1,100. Ow. Yeah, no. Like for me, Milwaukee sponsors the channel, and like Milwaukee was like, do you want one of these? And they were talking about the 1 inch and 3/4. And it's like, I can't demo something like that. And it's not something I can justify asking for them to send me, because I literally can't do anything with it. Occasionally a Honda crank bolt, or, just to break studs off or something. I don't know. Daniel Delpha wants a cordless grinder. If you grind a lot, cordless comes in really handy. For a regular grinder, I still have an old Makita. I mean, it's probably coming up on 27 years old. I've had it a very long time. But it's one of those things you only use it every now and then. I don't weld much, in my day-to-day or anything like that. So Brandon, dark purple hard handle anything ratchet by Snap-on. I have so much nostalgia for the whole hard handles ratchets. I started with the standard, regular Snap-on ratchets, because they didn't have hard handles when I started buying Snap-on ratchets. And, I'm like, I traded them in a long time ago on comfort grips from Snap-on, and I still had a couple old coarse tooth Snap-ons around, and they came out with the, original hard handles. And I'm like, oh yeah, man, I got to get me one of those. I absolutely hated it. And I was like, just no, it's just no. Went back to my Matcos. Not because anything wrong with the ratchet. It's just, once you find a ratchet system that really works for your hand, you can't, no. They look really good though. JFH got a bunch of stubby ratchet wrenches from Tecton outlet sale. Cool. Stubby wrenches come in really handy a lot. Mr. Jones, sorry, all in Harbor Freight. Gotta love them. If I didn't specify it had to be off a tool truck, y'all. Tools are tools. Brad Lloyd, since going mobile, hard to warranty tools. Looking to a ratchet that isn't from a tool truck but is good quality. Gear wrench, the Icon series from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight would be a good choice. From what I understand, they're basically made at the Cabo factory, so they're decent. That'd be a good option for you being mobile. You break it, you just swing by a Harbor Freight and get it warranted. But that would probably be the way I would go with a ratchet you need to get warranted. Ratchets you need to get warranted is, if you're driving by a Harbor Freight, swing in there, get it warranted. JFH, also funny story. Kid at work got fired. We all had to attend a meeting because they took a video and posted it on social media that showed all the customer and shop info. Oh God. Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, I've posted some stuff online of coworkers, and everything down to the only thing was shown was their first name. My name was blacked out as well. Yeah, you can't disclose any of that kind of stuff at all. I mean, I was real careful at the old shop when showing computer screens, because 4K, you can zoom in a lot. And so I never wanted to show anybody's information because of liability. But yeah, you can't do that. Comfort Medic, what's going on? Carl just found out today from Eric O about the zip ties with the Christmas trees on the zip. Yeah, those have been around for a long time. It's amazing what you can find on Amazon. But yeah, no, I've never worked at a shop that had a lot of that kind of stuff, but every now and then you could order it from various local part stores. Jonathan Campos M12 stubbies are on my list. Very, very nice. Those are tools I would not want to be without. It's just so freaking useful to have them. Chant. Mr. Jones, get the Grip 21 service wrench set. Totally awesome for hydraulic technicians. Let me Google that. Okay. I can see that being really useful. Um, you know, you get on a hydraulic line, you get a hammer, boom. Trust me, the reason I have big wrenches was back in the day working on garbage trucks and hydraulic lines. Because hydraulic lines blow out all the time. And, I was on a service call and had to go, I didn't have a wrench that big. So I went to a Napa, and the adjustable wrench that would fit it was like 3 times as much as their cheap wrench set. So I just bought the cheap wrench set. Brad Lloyd, your thoughts on the new M12 5.0 and 2.5? Are they really better? Yes. Significantly, probably not. But they are better. The 2.5 I've used extensively, and yeah, it's definitely better. Um, oh, thought I had one over here, but I don't. But yeah, they keep they keep talking with their battery engineers is incredibly fascinating. Um, they talk about all the R&D they do. I mean, you figure the cells are not anything special. They're Samsung cells, but they keep working on getting more and more density, and they work with Samsung, and their reject rate is astonishing for such a main manufacturer like Samsung, and they just keep trying to get everything better. So, but yes, last best tool. I'd love the M12 pruner. Spring will be here any second, and that means landscaping. Well, hey, tool's a tool. Garrett, what's going on? Anthony, tools I want for Christmas is just a bunch of replacements and upgrades for lost or old worn out stuff. Thankfully, we have a new dealer. Snap on Matco, what dealer is it? Looking for more extraction tools, tap and dies. Got the gear wrench ones 2 weeks ago. They're nice. Yeah. Brandon Raymondez, Texas Twister for the air hammer. What use case are you using it for? Because it loses a lot of energy in the bend. Technician I used to work with bought one, and all of us tried to use it in situations where it was supposed to be awesome, and it just did not do well. Garrett, always have a list of stuff I want for Christmas. Next tool I think I'm going to get are the ASE Waves terminal kit and relay testers. ASE Wave is always, Carlos and those guys are just top notch. You can't go wrong with buying anything from AES Wave. Buff Kid, what's a good slide hammer tool? Well, all tools, let's see, no. If money is no object, get this kit. The Mueller Cups Wheel Hub Slide Hammer Kit. It is freaking awesome. Really, really, really expensive. It's very expensive, but just absolutely killer. You have a hub that will not come off. Like, you're swinging a weight that's like, forget what it is, but it's massive, and you can get a add-on weight to add even more weight to it. I believe, yeah, that's 3 kilograms of add-on additional weight that you can get. So yeah, and you can also use it as a like a hub puller, to push in a CV axle, stuff like that. That is the best. But if you don't have a fortune to spend, the gear wrench one is good. You'll make sure if you get like the gear wrench slide hammer kit, anytime you use it, make sure and lock down that nut at the end of it. Make sure that is tight, not snug, tight as you're sliding, because if that is not tight and holding all the pressure on the threads, you'll strip it. So it's just something to be aware of, but the gear wrench kit is fine. I replaced my Cornwell kit, which was gear wrench, with a Matco kit, which is gear wrench, or was gear wrench. I don't know who makes it anymore, but yeah, I mean it's perfectly serviceable if you don't have the money for the Mueller Cups one. Phil Mann, those 12-inch inside calipers for measuring brake drums are pricey. Can you suggest a less expensive for measuring brake drum? This right here. Not that one. But these kind of ones right here will get you very close. Brake resetting gauge. It is exactly what it says. You go out to the edge of a brake drum, you tighten the set screw, you turn it around, you put it on the shoes, you back it off a micrometer, put the things on, do the final adjustment. You can find them on Amazon. It's brake resetting gauge. So yeah, those are, honestly, I have one of those. I use it all the time for brake rotor size because they work really well for that. If you've ever worked on Volvos that have every freaking millimeter option on them, it's like, you know, oh, 2 millimeters smaller, and it's this one, this rotor. It's 3 millimeters smaller. It's this rotor. And it's like, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but used a ton of it just for measuring discs through the wheels. Most times with especially Volvos, you can always get it through there and measure the disc. But yeah, no, that's what you want to use. They're not, you know, like I said, you can buy them on Amazon. Garrett, pipe dream. I really want a 68-inch Epic, but it's not in the budget currently. Come on, man. It's only $50 a week for the rest of your life. Seriously, though, if it's not in the budget, don't buy it. Toolboxes are really nice, but they're not something that you have to have an Epic to do your job. Sawyer, M18 blower, just bought a house for the first time. Congratulations on that. So I'm on that homeowner life now. Phil H, I don't want no tools, but I'll take a blonde with a nice set for Christmas. Good luck on that. Justin Hayward, yeah, 10 pound minimum sledgehammer, yeah. Anthony, I got a new Snap-on guy. He's chill, responds to messages. He's not pressing the young guys to buy big or carry a balance. That is awesome. That's awesome. That's not normally how they teach Snap-on dealers. It's, you know, it's sell, get them on financing, get them trapped. So that's really cool that he's, you know, not pushing hard. Oh. Garrett, yes, I have the 10-foot leads from AES Wave for my Snap-on scope, so worth the money. They're back probe product, and they're back prove great. Back probes, great products. He wrote it bad, he misspelled it, and I just butchered it. But yeah, no, I mean, their stuff is always awesome. If you ever meet the owners of AES Wave, they're awesome dudes. Years and years and years ago at Automechanica, before I was really established that much as a YouTuber, but I was a YouTuber and they knew who I was, as you know. That was when I met Matt Fanslow, a bunch of people, Justin Morgan, and they actually paid for my dinner one night, just hanging out. And they're like, we've got this dinner. But real cool. They're such great assets to this industry. Anthony, I pay in full, don't want a tool bill again. Yeah, I owe $0 to any tool truck. That was something that a lot of people, you know, as a content creator, it got really bad for a while with my tool purchases, because it was like, oh, I can make a video on this, might come in handy. Okay, I'll go ahead and buy that. And, you know, and then the videos don't make that much money. You know, even if, you know, a tool cost me $600, the video might make $100, if that. And it was just, if it was something that made me money, then it'd be worth it. But yeah, I had to back off of buying stuff just for content, because quite frankly, it's doesn't pay the bills, you know, for a tool that I'm not going to use. Lewis, Mike, do you recommend shoes or socks? I recommend both, unless it's summer in Georgia, and then it's flip-flops. Not in the shop. I wear redbacks for shoes, and unfortunately, the bamboo socks that Matco sells are redbacks. I love those socks. They are ridiculously soft, very long wearing, and so red back for socks and shoes. They're boots, basically, you know, is what I wear. Zarko, done with this field. Half the check on tools is ridiculous. I mean, you shouldn't have to buy that much to make a good living. Once you get established, you don't have to have a massive toolbox with 4 scan tools unless you're a diagnostic guy. You don't have to have, drawers full of sockets and wrenches and, make sure you have what you need. And, if you need something more than a few times, you buy it. You can back off on buying tools. But it does suck getting into this industry and all the stuff you do need. But there's also lots of great options that aren't the tool truck that are a lot more affordable as well. Brandon, in response, thought of this ball joint that broke off the lower control arm. The ball and stud were stuck in the knuckle, and my boss came by with this unique chisel on a air hammer, 5 seconds out, pickle fork maybe. I don't know. But Zarko, what are you going to do now? As Phil H says, quick remove. Live off the government? Yeah, okay. Lewis, do you recommend fabric style gloves? I really don't, especially in automotive, because fabric can quickly get caught and pull your hand in, whereas latex or the other stuff, nitrile, will rip quickly. So I recommend you stick with just latex or nitrile gloves and stay away from fabric. Leather mechanics style gloves are okay, but they're going to get dirty. Zarko, you all keep buying tools to work for my unemployment. Mr. Jones, Harbor Freight has a no questions asked lifetime guarantee. Yep, that's what I was talking about with the Zarko, favoritism, flat rate, and tools. Always something you need. I'm done, dude. Well, good luck. Lewis, Coke should sponsor me. Yes, please. I would love a Coca-Cola sponsorship. Garrett, I know that that's why I'm not getting it now. Kind of wanted Harry Shovelhead before I buy a toolbox. LOL. Budget going towards that. Well, okay. Owen, go ahead. Marinate on that. Trapped. J Money, Flat Rate Master, how are you? I'm doing great. I am be doing a lot better in a week and a couple days. Just saying. Phil H, my snap-on guy is young enough to be my son, and I tell him, son, I've been doing this longer you've been alive. If I need something, I'll let you know. Yeah. Brisket Profit. What's a good everyday cigar? Also a nice one that you'd recommend. The Padron 1000 series is awesome. I prefer the Maduro. The New World from AJ Fernandez, really good. Charter Oak from Foundation Cigars, those are really good. JFR Those are good for more budget-oriented premium cigars. They're not cheap. I buy my stuff from on mail order because taxes in my county apparently are ridiculous on tobacco products. But for premium special kind of cigars, Padron 1964, 1926, the 2650th is one of my absolute favorite cigars. Plasencia Almafuerte, also one of my favorite cigars. They're usually a little more available than the Padron 50th. Not the 50 year, the 50th. There's a difference. The 50 year is part of the Hammer bundle and really expensive. They come in a fancy humidor, and the only way to get them is most stores don't have them. But yeah, that's some good, what I enjoy. I mostly smoke Maduros. Garrett, it's fine. Shop Crocs, Owen. I have never owned a pair of Crocs, have no interest in owning Crocs. I own a lot of flip-flops, though. Oh, I've gotten so much crap because I'd show flip-flops in a video and like, oh my God, people would lose their junk over me wearing flip-flops. And I'm like, it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night, people. Or the wedding ring. But, I mean, you know, I don't wear, I don't ever got the Croc thing. All right. Daniel BC, I got a question. I have aftermarket headlights in my truck, but it didn't come with LEDs. So I installed ones, but my problem is my high beams don't work. I only did one side. Does it have a controller? LEDs are really weird. I believe your truck would still be a relay. One bulb may not pull enough amperage to activate it. I don't know. But that's I don't know if your headlights worked before. It may just be a bad aftermarket bulb. Owen, World's Softest Socks, the original wool ones cannot be beat. Yeah, but wool. Anthony, for boots, I tried Danners for the first time. Very nice boots out of the box. Light for 8-inch boots. Lucas, all I want for Christmas is you. Anthony, I preached tools before a box. I'm still using Husky and Craftsman box. Yeah. You know, I was in the same exact Snap-on box for 20 years. And literally at that point, I was four Husky boxes deep that were very narrow. So it made sense for me to upgrade. But yeah, buy tools. Toolboxes are luxuries, not necessities. I mean, you got to have a place to put your tools and keep them organized. But yeah, you don't want to be paying a toolbox bill instead of a tool bill. So yeah, preach on, Anthony. Philman, when using a dial indicator gauge to measure brake runout, what is your preferred method? A magnetic base or pliers with a flex attachment? A magnetic base that doesn't have flex is usually better, but not always possible. Pliers with, locking pliers with the flex attachment. I've had a lot of trouble with it not staying you'd hit a little bit of a, you'd move the suspension a little bit and it'd kind of move a little bit. That's the biggest problem. So I prefer a magnetic base, but not always possible. So pliers and I would really honestly go with a magnetic base first if you don't have one, and then get the pliers to kind of fill out where you can't use the magnetic base. Owen, Danners are good. I highly recommend Iowa boots. Paulo, what's going on? Garrett, I have Mechanic Impact 2 gloves. When I would use air hammers and impacts for rotation, seems to help with vibrations. Yeah, they do. Paulo, mechanics gloves are great in the gym. No touching those nasty dumbbells. Not a problem I have, but Oh, Phil H. Bottom feeder, man. Don't be that guy. Us old time has been working for decades, not for a youngin' to live off your back. Get a job at a Pizza Hut at least. Yeah. Zarko, I tried. Mike, you were very informative to me when I started it, and I'm in the Atlanta area too. I worked at Global Imports, and the dealer politics was overwhelming. Switched to an independent, and it's even worse. There are good independents out there. So I mean, there's definitely options out there. I hate for you to give up on it, but politics are less so in a independent shop, but it can still very much happen, as I'm an example of. So, I mean, just good luck in your whatever you decide to wind up doing. Zach, cigars haven't gone up that much with inflation. No, not really. The difference for me is the old shop was by a cigar shop that I frequented. So like I wanted some good cigars for the weekend. I'd go over there. I knew the manager, I knew the owner, and prices were significantly cheaper than at my local cigar stores. And driving into Buckhead to buy cigars, not really, So I'll have to stick to buying them online. Lewis, Juicy Lucy cigar. Not my cup of tea, but enjoy, Lewis. Crimson Knight, do you like Top Gun stuff? It's launch, so yes. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well. Safe travels. Thank you. Try one. I have tried one. I had my boss, my wife's boss, his kids all smoke cigars, and we wound up sitting around at New Year's Eve last year when they were trying to get her to come on board. They gave me one and I smoked it. I like very full Maduros, so also might have been because I've already smoked a Padron 64, but Zarko, Phil worked my ass off. The Graven went to the like taxi. Wee submissive little, yeah. I got all the warranty BS and heavy diag, and it sucks. Unfortunately, that is a problem in our industry. Really hate that kind of stuff. I always tried to spread as much of the work out as I could, but it sucks that people do that. And I mean, that was one of the problems that I had at the old shop, is how they distributed work between the upper and the lower shop. And, I railed against it and I paid for it. So GIE flat rate Santa, I would like an ATS Elite 8 with the scope and cylinder pressure test accessories. I ain't giving stuff away. But, you know, Polo Snap-on brand socks are actually very good. Not cheap, but they last a long time. I've heard that. I never, I think I won a pair of socks. Because my old Matco dealer would do bust your balls thing at Christmas. So if you bought something, you got to break a ornament, and there was a prize inside. If you bought something over $100, or you paid extra on your payment or whatever, and I think I won them in the Christmas thing, and like, okay, you know, not something I would ever actually thought to purchase. And tried them, wound up replacing all of my socks with those socks. So they are very good, but I never had that happen. I never tried the Snap-on, so I've heard they're good. Amer, I get discounts for using cash, not card, on the Snap-on truck. Yeah, a lot of them will. Lewis, favorite cheap wrench brand is Megadora. They're German made, really affordable. They're not chrome. They're not fancy. They work. That'd be a great option. They have standard combination wrenches. If you're wanting something more, you know, I guess Taiwanese made, gear wrench are usually good. Tecton's usually good. Capri, the Icon stuff. They're probably all made at the Cabo plant as well in Taiwan. But that would be my options for cheap wrenches. Garrett, Oxbright is a good aftermarket LED brand. I use them on multiple motorcycles. They have their own heatsink and resistor built into them. I've only used their higher price models though. Yeah, see, I don't use aftermarket LED bulbs. I've never had good luck using aftermarket LEDs ever. Melted connectors, burned out really quick. Obviously, I don't know the brands they were using because we didn't install them. It was just put in a stock bulb and move on, or kick them out the door. They didn't want to use stock bulbs. Zarko, there were techs there that got flushes every day while I was there doing cases with engineering term, pulling the car in 4 times just to look at a connector because the engine team never took over. That sucks, man. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. The video I did Wednesday, performance punishment. You know, if you haven't seen it, I'll recap it. It's getting punished for being good at stuff and getting stuck doing that over and over again. And it very much happens in every industry, every type of business there is. There's performance punishment where you did a good job at this, so that's all you're getting. And you know, I've never found that a good way to do business for any reason. Like, you know, as a shop foreman, you tell me, oh, I love dash work. Okay, great. You can have the dash work. I hate dash work. But you know, somebody comes to me and says, I hate dash work. You know, every now and then you're going to get dash work, but I'm not going to be feeding him dash work if he hates it. It's just, he's going to be miserable, hate his job, and hate me, you know. So, you know, jobs that like everybody hated were pretty much passed around, you know. Oh, you know, like waiter oil changes, you know, after a certain point, you know, waiter oil changes was like, it just got rotated. When we didn't have a young kid, when Aaron went downstairs and it was, you know, waiter oil changes had to be done by somebody, and none of us were, you know, no kids. And, you know, not that that shop did a lot of waiter oil changes, but, you know, it became a rotation. So I do one, then somebody else would do one, then somebody else would do one, and, you know, on and on through the week. But yeah, you can't just, you just can't keep piling the same stuff on everybody over and over again. GIE Auto, if you have a little extra room in your bag, a bullseye leak test kit as well. Owen, seriously, for the price you guys pay for toolboxes, I could replace the engine in my service truck. I've asked for a set of multi-clip pliers from Dent Fix. Well, okay. Oh, excuse me. Greg McBee, do you use or like Torx stick sockets for wheel torque? Do not use Torx sticks on electric impacts. They are very detrimental to the mechanism on electrics. It'll damage the electric part of it. That's one of the causes of high failure rate in like Matco's impact gun was used with Torx sticks. So I actually don't use Torx sticks anymore. I run it down with a lighter gun and then hand torque with a snap-on torque wrench. Using air, they work fine. I used them for years on air. Keep in mind, they're not 100%. They're not going to be accurate. The whole point of them is to be consistent across all the lug nuts. So if it's air, you're fine with Torx sticks, but if it's electric, it's going to be beating up the electric motor part of it for whatever reason. It was something I meant to talk to the Milwaukee engineers about, but never really talked to them about it. And then they did the Bluetooth one that had presets, so I just used that. Anthony, politics and favoritism is a fast way to kill a shop, and the recovery is a long road. Somehow been through 3 staff changeovers. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it's shocking how bad it can be, how often it can happen, and you wind up, you know, if you can see it, it's the problem is the people that benefit from it don't see it. The people that are doing it know they're doing it and don't care. So yeah, it just sucks. I hate favoritism across the board in anything, you know. So yeah, but it you know, the toxic tech, you know, shop owners cannot understand that, you know, when I talk about toxic techs, you know, they just blame the tech. And, you know, like it's one thing when there's been a constant problem since you hired the guy. Yeah, he's probably just toxic. But if a tech goes sour over several years, it's definitely something that's happening. And people just can't understand that. And, you know, watching watching something as a technician, watching your income just steadily drop because you're getting fed less and less of the easy work and you're getting more of the crap. It sucks. Chris, for Christmas, I want to see FRM with a better background that is authentic. Well, regardless, I wouldn't be live streaming in a shop. I've only done that a couple times, and it was a pain in the butt. So you either watch a fake picture of my toolbox, or you look at my computers. That's what you get. Oh. But yeah, so that's... Anthony, right wrenches are very cheap for being US made. Come in satin, fully polished, or black oxide. Right wrenches, yeah, they're pricier than some of the options I gave, but yeah, they are good. Robert Slegers, the shop I go to charges me a $45 rack fee just to look at my car. Is this norm? Yes. If they're spending time looking at your car, they're going to charge you, or they should. You know, as I just spilled Coke down the front of me. Owen Top. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher that name, but Owen pointed out some wrenches made in Japan that he likes. I'm not familiar with those. Mr. What's it to you? Have you ever worked at a dealer? Not as a tech, but yes, I have worked at I've worked at several dealers, but not as a tech. I know lots of dealer techs, but no, I've never actually been a technician at a dealership. Garrett, yeah, but when engineers are out, if you have a decent story, you get paid out of good. Eventually I got paid out 14 hours on one nightmare car that the FSC been out to 15 times. Depends on the manufacturer. Some don't pay well at all, even if engineers are involved. So that varies considerably on the manufacturer. Global Imports was BMW, so they usually are really good about paying their techs for their time. So Subaru Duro, I'm in the Rust Belt and would like a Venom mini ductor. What do you think? I love mine. I use the crap out of it when I don't want to have a torch, don't want to melt bushings, etc. They work great. Get the additional coil kit and understand once they start burning the insulation off, throw them out, get another one. If you have the insulation fully fry and it continues to it'll send current back through the tool and fry it. So just an FYI. But yeah, no, if you're in the Rust Belt, buy it. Excellent tool. Zarko, I'm already back to the wrenches, Zarko. I did a whole video on it. Chris, high turnover is a direct result of poor leaders, managers, incompetent techs, and advisors. A direct result of weak leaders and management. Yes. Chris, I would definitely agree. In the management circles, they can't see it. One of the biggest things I see with shop owners is they don't see how wrong they can be. And, you know, I post the video I posted the other day about, or no, I filmed. I'm sorry, haven't posted it yet. But Becky Witt talked about shop owners viewing it as a kingdom. Paul Danner, Scanner Danner posted it on Facebook, and it spoke to me. I mean, it was like so many shop owners view their shop as their kingdom. They rule it, and beatings will continue, as she said, until morale improves. And that's how so many shop owners view it. They can't, it's their way or the highway. And it just doesn't really do anything any good to view it like that. Clyde, recently I replaced a bad alternator on my 2012 Escape 3.0 V6 272. Went with the Duralast from AutoZone, lifetime warranty. Is it working? It is working. Think it'll last long. 2012 V6. The good news is, if it didn't immediately turn on the light, you might be okay. That generation of Escapes were really, really, really bad about not liking aftermarket alternators. I can't tell you how many times I've put on an aftermarket alternator, had to take it right back off because the battery light would stay on because it didn't give the right signal to the ECM. How long it'll stay working, I don't know. The funny thing about now, this is CarQuest, not AutoZone, but everybody pretty much operates this way. I was talking with their underhood guys, and they were like, how they buy alternators and starters is they go to a remanufacturer and they go, we're paying X amount of dollars for every alternator starter. Can you do it? And the manufacturer, if they want the business, has to make that price point. So compromises are massively made for a lot of those store brand alternators and starters. That's why I don't recommend them, is because 9 times out of 10, they're the cheapest rebuilds they could possibly do just to meet a price point for the company they're selling them to. Garrett, what did you do at a dealership? Sales. I've worked both on the front and the back, so but yeah, I did sales. I worked as a regional sales manager for Motorvac Technologies. I worked for Challenger Lifts as a regional sales manager, then worked at some dealers before that. That's where I got sales experience. Chris, you are an inspiration to so many. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm thankful for you and what you do. Keep it up. Keep your wisdom. It's know your wisdom is affecting a ton of people in a positive way. I'm super proud to think I watch and support you. I definitely appreciate it, Chris. Thank you very much. That does mean a lot to me. Garrett, I'm GMC, so that maybe that's a different. Also, world class is big. If you're not fully trained, they don't like to pay because they state you're not competent. I mean, they might be dumping that stuff on Zarko because he's not 100% certified with BMW. I don't know their certification system at BMW. So, and, you know, so you got to keep that in mind. But I do know generally they pay their techs really well. Am dead in bed. Yo, Matco, is it worth it? Depends on what it is. A lot of their tools are rebranded. Let me rephrase that. Don't buy their wrenches. The Matco wrenches themselves are Cabo by Gear Wrench. Their ratchets, their Matco branded impact sockets, impact swivels, not the ADV, but the actual Matco branded stuff is made by AJ Manufacturing. It is top-notch, American-made, awesome. I love their ratchets. Their toolboxes are great, but almost everything else is not made by Matco. It's made by Mueller, by Astro, various other places where you can buy it for a lot cheaper. So, GIE AutoZone alternator, you'd be using that warranty, yeah. But yeah, so, you know, that's the things that I would buy. Their sockets, their ratchets that are US made. Their ADV is not US made. It's rebranded Sunex. So most of the tools on there, you can buy cheaper somewhere else. Now keep in mind, warranty, if it's important to you, it is a tool truck, so they will warranty it. The quality is as good as the product they're selling as far as that stuff. Their impact swivels, the actual Matco pinless ones, are phenomenal. I love their impact swivels. So that's what but yeah, so quick little overview of Matco. Chris Storback, huge problem in the last few years of trust in brands. They're changing factories, remanners, like you said. It's horrible. Can I say car done? LOL. Yeah, no, I mean, this was when I was working for Motorvac, because I was working with the underhood, undercar guys a lot, but they could they will tell you CarQuest. Now this was pre AutoZone buying them out. They could tell you 20 remanufacturers CarQuest put out of business. They just could not make their price point last. So, yeah, and it's the margin is getting cheaper and cheaper, so they gotta cut corners. Mr. What's it to you? Can you explain the categories of techs and what they do, please? Like at a dealer, C-Tech is going to be very, very basic stuff, oil changes, tire rotations, maybe brakes, filters, usually flushes. B-Tech is going to be your general repair tech, suspension, engines, transmissions, heavy line stuff. A-Tech is the master tech. They should be able to do high-level diagnostics and pretty much everybody else's job. An A-Tech may be able to be doing transmissions, pretty much anything at a dealership an A-Tech should be capable of doing. So that's kind of a basic overview. You see the OptiGrip yet? I don't know what that is, so. And whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't remember what they called them, but yeah, I've seen those. It's another. Yeah, it's another RBT kind of set up. Whatever. Garrett, question. I know Ford has senior master tech, basic, same level as GM, world class. Don't know anyone who worked Mopar. You know if they have anything like that? It's dang it, I was just talking to Motor City Mechanic about it. It's class. They have class. I think it's class 1, class 2, and class 3 techs. And don't ask me which order they're in, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 or whatever like that. I think that's what it is. But don't quote me on that. David Pike would know the real answer because he is one. He's their top level. Clyde, thanks, bro. Sure is going to go out on the coldest freaking day this winter. So when I replace again, go OEM. OEM is going to be your best bet. As far as OEM, if it goes out again, definitely. Next possible would be if you can find a Denso, it might work. Turbo, how does flat rate work? If a job pays an hour, how do people get it done in less time? Tools, efficiency, and experience. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's just experience and having the right tools and the knowledge to do it. An hour job, you're generally not going to make a lot of extra time. You might make 10, 15 minutes on the actual job. But when you factor in original checkout, test drive, parking it, walking in, and all that, you're probably breaking even on an hour job. But generally, it's like those 6-hour jobs that you really can make time on. Basically, if you've done the job enough times, It's really easy to make time because you know what tools you need, you know what order to do everything. You don't have to look at service information unless you're looking up Torx specs if you don't remember them. But yeah, that's where it comes in, is when you're actually, you know, doing a job you've done several times. Atco part number. Lewis, Mike, has a hood ever hit you in the head? Yes. Many times. I actually had a hood land on my hand one time. Luckily, it did not latch. My hand's fat enough that it didn't go all the way into the latch. I've been hit several times in the head. Also hit my head several times on certain BMW hood hooks, or not really hood hooks, but the loops. They don't open that wide unless you pop the things off and put it in service position. And, you know, if it's on the ground and you're diagnosing something, but yeah. JWC Tech, finally got my Forge battery a few weeks ago. They have changed the game. Love them so far. Awesome. Chris, Storeback, flat rated system to reward motivated, efficient techs in a high quality, busy repair shop. This lazy, stupid, and cheats do not belong there. No, they do not belong in this industry. I've said it so many times, and you know, they blame flat rate. I've seen hourly techs, paid hourly, doesn't matter how, you know, fast, they literally will hack things to work less. You know, back when I really saw it, they would do all sorts of stuff to not fix a car. And they'll do it on flat rate. They'll do it hourly. They'll do it hourly commission. They need to be purged from the industry. JWC Tech, glad you have a part number. Garrett, okay, but thanks. Been thinking about switching brands, but not sure yet. Still interviewing around. Chrysler has the worst times for warranty work out on the domestic brands. So just an FYI. JVC Tech, you have a good Thanksgiving, bro? Yeah, I did. Missed you last couple of weeks. Got a Black Friday deals though. Awesome. Yeah, no, it was kind of weird. My Thanksgiving was on Friday. Long story short, my wife wasn't ready to make Thanksgiving dinner, so we wound up doing it on Friday, rather than Thursday, because my daughter wanted to go to her boyfriend's house. Friend of ours wanted to go see her son, so she went down there, and we just wound up doing it on Friday. So, you know, we did it on Friday, but it was a good Thanksgiving. Kind of weird. Anyway, let's go back here. Anyway, all right, stream's healthy again. Okay. Tubero, do advisors make the same as techs, or does techs makes more? Depends. Depends on a lot of factors. Their pay plan, dealership pay plans are all over the damn place. A high-level technician and a high-level service writer are probably going to make somewhere in the same neighborhood of money. Your average tech, probably less. C-Tech, considerably less. but a good tech can make as much as a advisor. An advisor can make as much as a good tech, and there'll be variations all the way around. Gordon Freeman, thinking about getting the Autel 808 TS. Would that be a good scan tool for Toyota? Yes. Yeah, it will be. Their coverage on Toyotas is excellent. Not as good as a tech stream, obviously, but very good. Turbro, I want to work at an independent shop because of warranty work on dealership seems annoying. The only thing about independent shops is you don't have warranty, but you wind up working on a lot of different stuff. So the efficiency you're used to on one brand is going to be diminished. You're just because you're going to be working on several different vehicles, and you can't maintain that level of familiarity with 15 brands compared to one. So, but generally, if you're good at working on cars, you'll figure it out. You'll get with the plan. But you're going to have to be, if you're doing diagnostics, you're going to have to get good at testing and looking up information. Shotgun diagnostics, if you don't have Identifix, ain't going to work well, which happens a lot at dealerships. Not saying you, but that is something that happens at dealerships. Yeah, Garrett, I've heard that GM too, but GM isn't that great either. LOL. Yeah, I've heard GM's getting really bad. Chrysler's though is still the bottom tier. But yeah, no, I understand that. From what I understand, like Toyota will not pay diagnostics at all, from what I understand. Volkswagen, Audi, BMW pay decent. Toyota and Honda are usually okay, from what I understand. Lots of warranty work, not as much customer pay, from what I've heard from the guys I've worked with. But, it's a dealership environment, so pick wisely. Always seem to take it on the back of the shoulder. Had some welding slag get inside my glove. Ouch. Yeah. That do hurt. David Schultz, recommendation for a good daily driver that doesn't rust out after 3 years. Well, according to Erico, not Chevrolet. I'm not an expert on rusting. I live in Georgia. So I really couldn't tell you any good recommendations. Like Toyotas rust out just as bad as GM's, which is surprising because Erico drives a Toyota. But imagine that, a company from Japan not knowing how to rust-proof a vehicle. But then again, General Motors from Detroit can't rust-proof a vehicle either. Turboro, which brand has the biggest roll cart, Matco or Snap-on? Snap-on with the Epic roll cart. It is 30 inches deep. They are massive. Chris Storback, independence can be a great choice, but in my opinion, a good one is far and few between. We do exist, though. Chris, I would actually say more good independent shops exist than good dealers. The vast majority of dealers, even if they're good for a while, management changes, everything changes. So that's the only thing. And as Anthony said, independent means more tools. That is one thing you're going to have to deal with, is you are going to have to get more tools to deal with the other brands. So Garrett, the warranty work sucks, especially on domestic, because you have to do a lot more. But on the flip side, I don't know about any Toyota techs that can fully rebuild transmission or engines like domestic techs. They don't do any of that. They literally, they um, blown my mind. Guy I used to work with, anyway, I can't, just right over my head, I can't remember his name. They had a failure, I think, right after a PDI on a Toyota, and they literally pulled the engine, put a new one in, put that one on a pallet, and shipped it to the engineering facility that built it to find out why it failed. So yeah, they don't rebuild anything. Anthony, I'm finally dusting off my metric tools. They've been sitting for a while. I'd have to say that with SAE. Am dead in bed. 2 years in this industry, 20K in tools. I'm thinking about walking away from the industry. I'm currently making $30 flat rate. The top tech in my dealership is making 75. Is it worth being in this field? Yeah, I think it is. It definitely, I mean, you're making $30 an hour flat rate. If you're making good hours, not and don't kill yourself, it's a good living. You know, how much more tools are you going to need to invest in at this point? GIE Auto. Which brand is the biggest roll cart? It's called a roll cabinet. Yeah. Uh, that is very, very true. Charles Johnstein, a GS, been working 18 months and finished a timing cover reseal under warranty on a GM 2015 3.6. Wasn't credit hours, flagged with guarantee. That kind of sucks. Was it warranty and are you not certified? That might be why you weren't credited if you are doing warranty work and you don't have certifications with GM for doing that repair. Quicksilver, who of the big three you think have the best training programs? I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that has gone through all three training programs. I know people that have gone through the GM system. I know people that have gone through the Ford system, and you know, also the Chrysler system. I don't know. I really don't know which one is better from a, you know, any perspective really. I know Motor City Mechanic, when he came up to Atlanta, he was going to Chrysler training or Stabilis or whatever the heck you call it. And he likes their training a lot, but he has less experience with other training. So, I don't know. Garrett, that is the big thing about dealerships. At least around me, big dealers groups, they like to switch managers every 3 to 4 years. You're kind of lucky. I've known dealerships that have changed managers every 2 years. Charles Downstone, like I said, it might be your certification that they can't credit it to you. They have to credit it to a technician that is certified to that for that repair. I don't know. You'd really have to check with your manager on that. But that might be why you didn't get credited, because they had to bill it under somebody that has the credentials. So just something to think about. Chris Storvac, got to put in the work and develop your skills and value to a company, be able to provide high quality professionalism day in and day out, and be exceptionally reliable. Techs are 100K very easily. Yes, they are. You know, I got told by a coworker a tech could never make $100,000 a year. Yeah, you can easily. 2023 Tundra gets the block with pistons already in it, but everything else gets rebuilt. So is the truck. Is 5 bays over for mine after failing at 24,000 miles. I don't know if all the time they're built like that, but I know some of them come complete except intakes. But Garrett's right though. $75 an hour is pretty great to work towards. And and he's probably been there forever. Nissan dealership and they charge $189.99. Wow. Crispy Games, a journeyman apprentice for a trucking company, and I'm happy that the techs and managers we have now are the ones that want the apprentices to do the big job so they have actual experience. That's the only way anybody can get experience, is to do it. You have to take a risk. You have to take a, leap of faith with young technicians and push them to increase their skill set. Yeah, I mean, eat, sleep, farm. I'm working. Same thing I've always done, just different place. Garrett, I think it depends for factor training on the instructors. That's any brand. Well, yeah, instructors, they can have the best material in the world, but they suck at presenting it, explaining it. They're gonna suck. Chris, what's the future of your channel for 2024? I don't know. I know the end of 2023 is going to be me on vacation. So I have some time to think about it because next week will be the last live stream till next year. Garrett, that being said, both GM, Harley, Suzuki, and Kazuki done all their basic level training. They do all the basic fundamentals the same, so it's really just how much you get out of it. I mean, that's a lot of training. I'm dead in bed. I'm seriously considering the Icon 3-bay toolbox. What are y'all's opinion on that over the big three? I would rather buy tools and other stuff. It's a decent toolbox. I did on another stream. I think it's a step above like a Husky box, but not Snap-on quality. But for the money, it's a great option. Definitely would expect a long service life out of it, but not Snap-on service level. So it'll get you for many years, probably to the point where you outlive it, or not outlive it, but outgrow it. Gee, time to queue up the red on blue debate. Take care. Oh. All right, I think we're about. Got any more questions or anything like that? David, thoughts on Top Don? Its launch. It's very good. I enjoy it. Yeah, appreciate. Smash the like button. Yeah, Top Don is good stuff. It's all based on launch, so I've been very impressed with my launch scan tools. They do a lot of stuff. They're built, it's good stuff. So definitely be a good option for a scan tool, and all their, a lot of their other products are also good. So, am dead in bed. Would I buy an Icon toolbox? If I didn't have 2 Revel X's, yes, I would. Crispy Games, if you could do it all over again, would you consider diesel, trucking, or fleet? I've done all those. I did diesel, I did fleet. Not going back to diesel. I mean, fleet work is fleet work, and if I wind up in the right situation, I'd go back to fleet. But I was flat rate when I worked fleet, so. But yeah, I'm not going back to diesel big trucks. I'm too old and fat for that stuff. Easy E, what's everybody's shop radar is $169.99. Garrett's $145, over 200. So, am dead in bed, $189.99. Dead $139.99. That's not uncommon. Don't necessarily agree with it, but we used to get paid for diag. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. So, as always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.